We're live and direct. It is the House Arrest podcast, otherwise known as EC Radio. By the powers of the internet, people, we are together again, once again. It is Wednesday. How are you? It's your old pal Z. We are live in all Disruption Network social media platforms, and you can watch this at your leisure, at your discretion, whenever the hell you want at disruptionnetwork.net. Before we get into my favorite guest, I got some love and respect to give to Mr. EJA Moving Services, Eddie Alsheimer, his crew. Check them out when you're ready to move and relocate. Hit them up at ejamoving.com. They're safe, they're professional, they're super friendly. I'm telling you, Eddie and his crew's got a really, really nice bunch of boys working for them. So when you want to move your gym or your studio or your mom to wherever you need to go, have EJA Moving do all that move for you, man. Make your move stress-free with EJA. Hit them up, ejamoving.com. Also, much love to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, and attorney Dave Longaretta. Shout out to Dave and his wife. I know it was his wife's birthday the other day, so happy birthday to Renee. If you need legal advice, call my man Dave. He's the man. He is, especially locally here in Utica. 315-735-6162. Max Scialdone, what up, brother? How are you, man? It's great to see you today.
What's up, man? Definitely good to see you, too.
I see that you are on your way to a gig. It must feel good to be working again, huh?
It does, and it really does, definitely. It's kind of weird. Like, I got this weird, intense anxiety, though, at the same time, which is not normal. Like, I never felt that way. And, like, I don't want to say anxiety, but just sort of like a, you know, I don't know. Once you're out there, like you get in your car, you drive in, and everything's cool, and all of a sudden you see a first person like with a mask on, and then I like, oh shit, it freaks you out a little bit, you know. You're like, oh, everybody's got to be, you know. I'm not saying, you know, I got mine, you know.
You got your mask.
I'm just saying when you first see it.
It's like nervous energy, right? It's like almost like going to your first gig for the first time or whatever, and first day of school type of thing, getting back into the swing of things. Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah, it's that, and just hoping everything, you know, goes the way it's supposed to, you know, just kind of hoping everything, you know, because, you know, it could get messed up if people aren't, and I'm not one of those people like, hey man, you got to do everything right. And, you know, I'm not that kind of person, but in this situation, you know, it's like, I just want it to go well, and I want it to be a start of something good going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully we don't go backwards, because I mean, not to get on the whole Corona coaster conversation right now, but it seems like numbers are going up in other states and whatnot. And, you know, I hope we don't go backwards. I just kind of hope there's progress and people are paying attention, but I feel like right now people don't give a shit. And they're just like, it's summertime, I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah.
It does seem that way.
So you got a couple gigs this weekend. You're over at Villa Verona. You've got the food court thing happening in Rome. Where are you off to today? Where are you playing today?
Tonight I'm doing Villa Verona Vineyard. Jesus. Marble Hill Inn. Villa Verona is on Friday night. So tonight's Marble Hill Inn on the deck over there.
How's the vibe been amongst people out in the crowd? Are they pretty much happy to be seeing live music? Has it been safe? Are people keeping distancing?
I've done two. I've done two at a place, two official. I've done a bunch of gigs. I've done a bunch of private gigs, but I've done two at like a establishment, you know. And yeah, I think so far it looked like everyone was doing it that way, and I think that's a good sign, you know. Like, yeah. Look, nobody wants to do this, but right. You know, in the event if this thing is as dangerous as people say, then hopefully, you know, we can kind of work together and make sure it doesn't get worse, you know?
Yeah. I know you and Kelly have been, and by the way, great job on your live streams every week or however often you do it. I've been checking in a lot. It's cool when you get all our friends together in a chat room and all the ball breaking goes on. But I know It's so funny. But I know you've been doing a lot of the live streaming. Have you been writing any music since quarantine's been happening?
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, a lot. Well, yes. I've always been working on chipping away at this sort of solo album that I may put out someday. But honestly, honest to God, I got back to Into Shadow. Really, we've put that down too many times, picked it up and put it down way too many times, and I'm not putting it back down this time.
Good.
There's a lot there already. There's a ton there. There's guitars, drums. There's lots of vocals. The songs are all there. It's just finishing the work and recording it and all that stuff. And we're going to try to do 80% of it in-house. So that's kind of cool. We did that first one too. So, we did everything in a basement in Ilion.
Are you projecting to have a date for this album?
No.
Or are you just gonna put
no? But I'm honestly working on it, and I don't plan on stopping. Like, I'm not gonna put it down I might put it down. I've put it down a lot. When I say put it down, I mean I just put the project down and kind of took a break from it. And I'm not doing that now. I'm just gonna honestly everybody's breaking my balls, and you know what? I deserve it. I deserve it. I really do. And I really actually kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? We got to put it out. We got to work. It's all there. The stuff's there,
Mm-hmm.
It's just got to be kind of fine-tuned and crafted and finished. And, like the vocals and stuff are written. There's some stuff that I want to kind of just do a little better. I want to make sure it's all there. Some little slight reworks and stuff here and there, little tweaks on a couple songs, and but there's a solid 10, 11 tracks there.
Awesome. Has the current state of affairs influenced you on some of your writing on some of these songs within the Shadow?
You know what? It's funny you say that, because a lot of the ideas and stuff essentially were written a long time ago, but weirdly enough, some of the concepts seem like they're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily come up with the ideas during this time period, but it's funny how some of them seem to ring so true right now, in that referring to now, and it almost feels like now, some of the concepts and ideas, and just
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it, man. One of my favorite bands, Max. I've said this many times. You've been on this show a few times. You've been on pretty much a lot of the podcasts here on Disruption Network. That the way you guys did the very first album, In the Shadow, was probably the smartest release I've ever seen from a band. You guys did the video like a month, 6 weeks ahead of time. And then the album, merchandise, it all came out in one day. And you had a monster CD release party at the Oneonta Theater. I thought you guys did it absolutely perfect.
Thanks, man.
No, it was good. It was a marvelous night.
We tried to plan it out real well, and I guess that's probably also kind of a bad thing, because we try to make sure everything goes exactly how we want it to go and plan it correctly, and that sometimes makes things delay. But I just don't want it to. You got to feel like it's good before you put it out. You got to feel like you're happy with it.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel on it, and I'm ready to hammer it home. The only thing that we probably won't be doing, which I am sad to say this, is that we probably won't be playing. First of all, obviously, because of this whole situation. Second of all, because I just don't know if we will be. And I would love to. I hope we would. Maybe something here and there. Maybe at least a CD release party. That would be awesome.
Uh-huh.
But who knows?
Time will tell, my friend. Time will tell.
Yeah.
No, but it was an epic night, man. You guys knocked it out of the park. I brag about that night a lot, but it's good, man. What about any solo writing? Are you writing for yourself personally? Doing any new originals acoustically, or even just laying down some tracks for band for your own personal?
I am, yes, definitely. But I've worked that. Same with that. I picked that up and put it down. Picked it up and put it on. I've been working that on and off for a long time, and I kind of got that to where I want that to be for now, and I kind of set it back. There's about 6 songs that are pretty much like, right where I want them to be, and then I have 3 or 4 other ones that I hope to put on there as well, and that I kind of set that aside because I got to do the In the Shadow thing. I got to do it.
Yeah,
it's time to get it done. I'm pissed at myself for not just knocking it, just finishing it,
Yeah, well, it's not like you're not busy or whatever. I mean, you've got a bunch of other things. Prior to COVID, you were doing the Scialdone band and playing acoustically and out there 4 or 5 nights a week. So you can't really get down on yourself there, pal.
No, I know, but I just these things people don't know. A lot of people don't know about, like, the sort of heavy metal side or this other kind of thing, and I feel like it means a lot to me, and I don't really get to kind of show that because it's hard to have a band like that that's playing and doing lots of stuff, but it means the writing and the working on material and just putting stuff out there in the world it means a lot to me. It always does. Everything I do means a lot to me, but you know what I mean.
I know. Well, you got to look. You're leaving your legacy behind with all this music, man. Don't take this the wrong way, but you don't have kids, so you're leaving something behind, right? So your music is like your child, correct?
Well, even if I did have kids, I would consider the album. To be, yes, they're definitely they mean everything to me. The albums, because when you're done with it, you're like, finally done with it. Finally, you just kind of like, just get it away from me, just get it. It's I'm done with it. I gotta, because you just kind of, you listen to it so much, you don't even, by the time you put it out, you don't even like it anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and then you always find something wrong with it here and there too. Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's another reason why I try to take a little extra time just to not feel that way. That way is never good to feel, I think, is to feel like that, so you kind of pick it up and put it down. But I got a bunch of things going, and I think it's time to it's hard because, nobody's like dying for it, nobody's, it's just something that you do because you love it,
It's part of your DNA. It's part of your fabric of your whole life, man. I mean, it's what you do. So it's what makes you Max Scialdone.
Oh, well, thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I mean, think about all the great times we've had throughout the years. I was thinking about that prior to this podcast. Like, we go back, when did Autumn Fire form? Like when was the first time you guys played at the EC? Was like maybe 08, 09?
Wow. Yeah, probably
08 or 09. And then I got thinking about all the gigs Autumn Fire used to have a brass knuckle intercourse. Shit, we celebrated my birthday at SPAC, and we've done so many great things, played multiple gigs. Do you remember that?
That was your birthday. That's right.
Yeah. I could barely speak after that gig. Was everybody was pouring me shots left and right. But we've had so many gigs together throughout the years, and of course we recorded the Return to Ashes album, which was fun to make and stuff like that. But our history is it's deep now, brother. You think about it, like how quick, like 10, 11, 12 years went by.
Yeah. A lot of things happened. We also, you were doing, No, wait. Even that last party we did, God, that was such a good time, wasn't it? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you talking Masucci's party?
Yeah, that was such a good time. It's the best time.
So that was
That,
the Animal Jam.
Every time that happens, I'm always like, oh, well, we're going to do it. And then everybody's going to kind of go, oh, well, maybe it seems like it would be less fun, but it's just as fun and just as kick-ass, if not more kick-ass and fun each time we do it, each time we've done it. Especially that last time, it was just like something was in the air that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for 12 North to be packed from like 6 o'clock at night till like 2 in the morning, nonstop. I mean, that just says something about not only the music scene, but just like our friends in general. That's awesome, man. How do you not get inspired to write music when you live there? You know?
I do get inspired.
You just walk out your back deck and look at the trees and the scenery and the lake, and you gotta be inspired to write.
Well, the lake's not out I have to go a little ways away from the house to see the lake.
It's still in sight though, man.
That's one of my dreams, is to be able to see the lake from the house, from a big window or something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to live in a place like that where you can see out a big window, like by your kitchen, and with a place you hang out mostly in the house, and just out the window you can see the lake, I don't have that. One day, maybe.
Bro, who was the very first band that you got obsessed with?
First band I got obsessed with, I would say, I want to say the Beatles.
Okay.
But I didn't grow up on, it's like kind of technically everyone grew up on the Beatles if they went through it and listened to it as they were growing up. But I just found a couple songs of the Beatles when I was young somehow, and I was just like, I got to get more of that. Obsessed with for a while. I really, I was young, and I was kind of, in the sort of when Green Day was kind of coming around, I was into stuff like that a lot at the time. I was probably, 12, maybe. I don't know. So I think that maybe was what I got first, loved. It was kind of that, you're kind of, you was like, that punk sort of attitude,
Mm-hmm.
kind of feeling like, that kind of thing.
And you jump right into all their whole catalog and start digging into their history.
Yeah, 90s rock, stuff that happened in the 90s. I mean, that was kind of my time, I guess.
Those were some good times.
Those are some good times, yeah.
I don't remember any of them, but
I get obsessed with different things all the time.
Yeah.
The first thing I get obsessed with as far as music is, like, true obsession would probably, like I said, probably be the Beatles, because I just listened to it. I got everything. I was like, I have to get all of it and listen to all of it and know all of it. And I did. I tried to. I mean, got all the music, and then I don't know what else really. Then I found, once Tool came around, that was
game over.
Well, that went on for up until now, But that's kind of like this big, to me, it's like this big thing that, like, I don't listen to at all. And then when I do, that's all I listen to for a week.
Yeah.
I don't even listen to anything else. I'm just like going through the albums and listening to them as a whole. And I got a lot of bands like that I do that with too, but where you just kind of get into their material only, and if you drive somewhere, if you have the CD in, or if you have it on your phone or whatever you're doing, playing it through your radio, you just put it on. You start it, and like as soon as you get back in the car, if you go in somewhere, you pick up right where it left off. That's what I do, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Is
there a band out there today that's blowing your head off? Anybody you're really high on?
Geez. Well, I don't mean to go back to Tool again, to the conversation of Tool, but at first when they put their stuff out, I actually was like, I was so busy that I just didn't really pay any attention to it. So I didn't start paying attention to it until this whole thing went on and there was a little more time to really like listen to it and dig in. I like to dig in and understand it, read the lyrics. You know, I like to kind of take my time with stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So their newest album, at first I kind of was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Now it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is. But I don't know. I kind of go back and forth between like something really heavy or like super just chill tunes. Like say I'll like find like something from the 80s that's like super chill and I'll just listen to that for a while. Because if I get like anxious, I don't like to listen to like heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not anxious, that's when I go back to listening to heavy, like, you know, rock or, you know, harder music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've been hitting the weights a little bit. Do you have like a gym playlist that you go through? What are you listening to when you're hitting the weights?
That's all. 90% of the time, probably just like a driving playlist. Just something that's driving and you know, upbeat but heavy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Something driving along, like Static X or something like that, or Kill Switch Engage or things like that. I don't even know. A little Slayer on there.
There you go. Just stuff to keep the muscles going, the head banging, the energy up.
Yeah, Pantera. It's just stuff that's like high level drive, and then or sometimes I'll just listen to like a podcast or something. Listen to your show.
Yeah, you can listen to a podcast and work out.
It depends. If it depends with it, it's probably, like I said, probably 15% of the time I'll listen to a podcast. It just depends if I'm kind of like burned out on music, because I'll do that. I'll just, like I said, I'll get obsessed with something music wise for a while, and then I just have to kind of, you know, let my ears kind of go away from it.
Yeah. Well, you're well versed in music too. Or if you're tired?
If I'm tired, I'll throw on a podcast or something. And I think that you want to throw on something heavy, you know, or something driving to get you back into it. It depends on the level, you know.
Yeah. What podcast are you listening to?
I listen to yours sometimes. A lot of times.
Thanks, bud. I wish I could listen to yours, but you never put them out in time.
That's because I'm currently not doing them, and I would love to do them again. So what else? Obviously, I mean, how could you not check out Joe Rogan every once in a while? It's kind of hard not to.
He's my guru.
I feel like if you're not at least, whether you like him or not, that whatever. But if you're not at least checking out what's going on or who he's having on there every once in a while, you're missing out. I think I really do. Yeah. You got to check in every once in a while.
He's brilliant. The guy's just brilliant. And then he always throws in all these gems in there, like the Dan Aykroyd podcast. And he had Michael Imperioli and the guys from The Sopranos the other day. And just like
I saw all those.
Every episode is just completely epic. And I love checking it out. You know, one I've been obsessed with, Max, and I think you should check this one out too. It's called Disgraceland. Are you familiar with Disgraceland?
I don't think so. No, I don't know what that is.
So Disgraceland is a true crime story, but it's based in the music industry. So it's all like crimes that happen inside the music industry, and it's really good. It's well put together. And the guy that hosts it also hosts another one called the 21 Club, or the 27 Club, which is all about people in the music industry that has passed away at the age of 27. We all know those stories: Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and the list goes on. Shannon Hoon. List goes on and on. So check those out. Robert Johnson was 27?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Wow, no doubt. I never knew that. But check those out. There's some really, really great podcasts out there. Are you a Spotify guy? Are you hooked on Spotify? Yeah.
Well, okay. so I want to say something about that. Again, I think that I don't know how you could not have it,
Okay.
but I also am a collector of I do buy some stuff too. You know what I mean? Like I do buy like vinyl and some stuff that I want and that kind of thing, and CDs when something I really want. So yeah, I think that it's awesome because if somebody says, I'll usually be talking to Dallas or something, and he'll be like, "Hey man, you got to check out this band," and like 10 minutes later, I text him back and I'm like, "All right, I checked out blah blah blah." You check out like 3 or 4 of their songs right away. There's no go to the store, grab the album. Of course, that's fun, and I miss that, doing that. You know what I mean? Like, but just to be able to quickly just check it out right away, But that's what I like about it is someone's like, "Oh yeah, you gotta check this out," and you're like, quickly just check it out real quick. It's like someone suggested.
That's what the best about Spotify is. You quick, easy, and the reason why I bring it up is because that's where I've been listening to all my podcasts lately. All the Joe Rogans. Well, Joe Rogan just signed that big deal with Spotify for over $100 million and a bunch of other things.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's actually going to change the game, I think. And now that I see that going on, like Simplecast got bought out by SiriusXM, and like all this crazy stuff is happening in the podcast world. So people are paying attention to what's going on in the podcast.
Yeah. And like, it seems like a strange shift maybe because I feel like for him to leave YouTube, that seems crazy,
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't have enough information, but for him to like be that, I don't know, just seems, I mean, I guess we don't know the whole inner workings of everything, but to leave YouTube, like that sounds, wow. That's someone's going to be mad somewhere.
For sure.
Someone's going to be losing something somewhere.
In this day and age, brother, everybody's mad.
Yeah. And losing something or gaining something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is for sure, man. But podcasts have definitely changed, especially the way people are, complaining about fake news and all this and that, and just podcasts is the way to go to get away from all that. So,
yeah,
yeah,
I miss doing mine, and I loved doing it. I loved it. It was one of the most fun things ever, and I would just when I was getting into editing it and putting it all together, I just realized, where did the time go? Just all this time would just go by, and I'd be editing it or cutting it together, and just so much time would go by. And I don't know, I just didn't have, and like people, musicians, I love them. They're my best friends. Musicians are my best friends.
Mine too.
But trying to get together with them sometimes is really difficult. Trying to like, hey, let's do this thing at this time. You know what I mean? Like, let's go, we're going to do the thing, and it's like, it's hard.
I 100% agree. I agree. That's actually why I like doing it live, though. So it's less editing, though I have not put a true traditional podcast up since quarantine. We've been doing it all live and through the social medias. But that's why I like doing it live, because it's less editing. And I get like you sometimes, man. You start overthinking and second guessing and questioning this and questioning that and taking this out, taking that out. It starts to rack your brain a little bit too much. So that's why I like doing it live. You just clip the ends and put it out there.
That would be a cool thing. Well, and plus I did only audio,
right, on
mine. I didn't do video, and I guess that this way it wouldn't be terrible. Wouldn't be a terrible thing. No, and this seems bad. Like it sounds better now. Like I feel like sometimes I can say something and still hear you talking. You know what I mean? Like it seems really clear. And I like how it works. It seems to be a good platform for it. Well, even like the Instagram one seemed like it would be kind of like delaying a little.
Yeah, when you do the dual thing on the Instagram, which is a unique thing. And I see a lot of social media platforms starting to do these room things You could go into the room almost like a house party where you can have multiple people come into your room and you can play games. And that's starting to become a new trend amongst these social media platforms too. It's interesting.
Yeah, because it's so hard. It's so hard to get everybody together. That's why.
That's the fact too, and you do bring up a good point. It's hard to get musicians to dedicate and commit themselves, and I try to focus this podcast a lot on music. Of course, we do community events and stuff like that, but I like to focus it on music, and to even get some of these musicians to call me back or to reply to a text message or an email. It's like pulling teeth.
Well, I never understand, like, if you hit up someone and say, hey, what's going on? I do this, and sometimes it just. They'll read the message, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the whole. I don't like hunting anybody down for anything anymore. Right. And if people don't seem interested, I don't want anyone to not. I'll ask somebody something. Hey, you want to do this thing or whatever it is? You want to, play a solo on a song or something, and if it's like impossible to get it to happen, then I kind of just I don't want to if people want to do something, they want to do it, and I don't want to make them feel like bothered or something. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard to do.
Maxie,
that's why I find
we're over your time limit, brother.
Are we?
Almost. We're almost getting there. But before we do get out of here, because I know you got to get out of here and go play some music tonight, is there one thing that you would like to see stick around after the Corona Coaster is done?
How so? How do you mean? Like something that has to do with
music or with anything? Is it with people, society? Is there one thing that you would like to see stick around since all this has been going on upside down?
I liked at first where it seemed like everybody was really trying to be nice to each other and more understanding and about things and just about everything, and I feel like that could be nice. And I guess that sounds kind of like a hippie thing to say, and I guess maybe it is, but it's I always like the sort of where it's kind of is a little bit more genuine. It seems like we're going away from it again, like everybody's just out and like everybody's all mad and angry again, you know what I mean? Where it was, if you're out at a store, everybody's like, yeah, they're kind of, but it seemed nice and caring, and I guess I would like to see more of that. I think that would be nice for that to kind of continue. And I know that maybe sounds silly or
it doesn't sound silly at all, Max.
To some people, maybe, I think, maybe not to you. I think you appreciate a good attitude and a good positive mental state with yourself and friends and people around you, and that's good to have that. I think so. And I just like to see more of it. I guess that's where I'm at. People just kind of, we all got a thing that we're trying to do. We're all trying to do a thing and get through and do whatever it is, support yourself and family, whatever. And we all don't see, some people don't see that other people got to do it too, I don't know.
It's great, man. I'd like to see everybody
in my head better.
Yeah, it'd be great to see everybody get back to compassion, and loving each other and helping each other out and working with one another. But we'll see. Hopefully we get back there. Hopefully we do. We do. Max, I got a lot of love for you, brother, man. Thanks for taking the time. And I know you got to head out to your gig over at the Marble Hill Inn, which is a great place, by the way. I love that joint.
Excellent, man. They treat me great over there. They really do. They always have. I've been playing there for a few years now. Good. I want to say maybe 5 years almost, maybe.
Will you play outside on the deck tonight?
Maybe 4. This might be 4. Oh.
Are you out on the deck tonight? Did I lose you?
Yeah, I think I do.
Oh, there you
Did I lose you?
No, we're good. We're good now. It's all good, brother. I know you got to get off to your gig and whatnot. I do got to mention tonight, Wrestle Fandom Radio goes off at about 6 o'clock, so get your sports entertainment fix here on the D. Tomorrow at noon, Backstage Podcast with our friends from Broadway Utica. That goes off at noon. They're going to go behind the scenes of what it takes to put on a Broadway show. So big ups to Danielle. She's killing it over there at Broadway Utica and the Backstage Podcast. You can find here tomorrow afternoon at the D. And then tomorrow night, I was about to say No Time for Nonsense. Bill Vinci has got New York Yankee scout Mark DiPiazza. I think I'm probably screwing up that name, but it's that should be cool. They're going to talk baseball. Baseball's coming back in the season starting in July with a 60-game schedule, which should be pretty interesting. So they're going to talk to Mark about that on No Time for Nonsense. Also, you can follow, like, subscribe to all things Disruption Network social medias. Make sure, if you're on Facebook, please do us a favor. Spread the word of Max Scialdone, EC Radio, and the D by clicking that share button. That would help us out a lot, too. And you can find us pretty much anywhere if you just Google us. Google Max Scialdone, Google the D, Google me. Google all of you. I don't know. We'll have a lot of fun, though. Much love to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit them up at ejamoving.com. Make your move stress-free. Have Eddie and his boys come in, and they pack your boxes for you. They give you free boxes. They pack them, unpack them for you. All you do is pretty much tell them wherever you need to put your little knickknacks, Eddie will put your little knickknacks wherever they need to go. They're that good. Also, much love to Saranac, Utica Coffee, attorney Dave Longaretta, and huge shout-out to Todd Williams back over at the Disruption Network studio. Always holding it down, Todd. So thank you, man. Thank you. Max, one more time, plug where you're playing this week.
Tonight I'll be at Marble Hill Inn in Oneida from 6 to 9. Tomorrow I'll be in Rome at the food truck. What was it? The Gardener's
The Gardener's food court. Yep.
Yep. And then 4 to 6. That'll be 4 to 6. Friday night I'll be at Villa Verona Vineyard 6 to 9. And then Saturday night I'll be back at White Lake Inn 6 to 10.
Cool.
White Lake Inn Saturday night.
Brother, I'm so happy you're busy again.
I hope it gets to stay this way, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to Mary Jo, though, at Villa Verona. She's killing it over there. I know a lot of those guys are doing very, very well. I know Ryan Quinn's been there. Isaac's been playing there. Yourself. A lot of great musicians playing over at Villa Verona, so go check that place out.
Absolutely. So I love her.
Awesome.
She's great. She's been great to me, so.
Cool. Awesome.
Great.
Well, buddy, do they? I gotta check it out.
Oh, yeah? My God. Oh, my God. Woo! Get a chance. Check it out.
I will, man. I should come see you, though. I want to come see you this week, so maybe I'll be out at one of these shows and checking you out and saying, hey, we haven't been in a room together in months, so it'd be good to catch up.
Let's do it. Let's do a Sunday. Let's do something Sunday.
Let's do Sunday. We'll go fishing.
Or whatever, man.
Max, I love you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Have a great gig tonight. And everybody out there in social media land, I will see you next week. Later.